When you think about investing in stocks and crypto, is probably the first thing that comes to your mind. But I promise you the ultra wealthy just aren't purchasing stocks and crypto because these can instantly tank and lose their value, and the government can come in, take, and tax these. They put their money in things that not only appreciate in value, but can also be appreciated in everyday life. Today, I'm going to be showing you the 5 best alternative investments and showing you how you can get started with them today. Like this video if you want to see more like it, and hit that subscribe button. If you're watching this and you're a bit younger, you probably already know this, but there's a whole market just for sneakers. People line up outside of stores and wait days for a sneaker to release. And every single Saturday, new shoes are being released and instantly being sold out. There's now a sneaker portfolio, so you can add all your shoes to it and see the prices of them and see when they go up and down so you know when the best time to sell is. There's a lot of young people getting into the shoe market because you have to be 18 or older to sell and buy stocks and crypto, but you can go and buy a pair of shoes from Nike and then resell them no matter how young you are. If you look at a shoe like the Nike Foamposite 1, when it was released in 2012, it was just a couple $100, but now you can't get your hands on a pair for under $2,000. This is just one of the thousands of examples, and it doesn't take that much time or effort to get into the shoe market. But like anything that you're going to make money with, there's going to come with some cons of it. There's a lot of counterfeits out there, and it's going to be hard to get your hands on new releases. There's a reason you see all your favorite celebrities walking around with thousands or even $1,000,000 watches. And this is because watches are one of the few things you can wear and flex with without it depreciating in value. In fact, usually the longer you have a watch, the higher in value it's going to go up. Take Paul Newman, for example. He was the voice actor for Doc Hudson in Cars, and he also played in a lot of other movies. But he had a Rolex Daytona that he regularly wore for decades, and in 2017 it sold for $17.8 million. Or look at the Rolex Submariner. When it came out, it was only a couple $1,000s, but now you can't find one for under $30,000. And since 2018, luxury brands like Rolex, Patek, and AP have actually outperformed the S&P 500. Now, like all these alternative investments, they can be a little bit harder to liquefy, but this is still my favorite on this list because it's one of the few things that you can pass down for generations, and it's just going to become more and more valuable as time passes. So we all know that resources are becoming more and more scarce. There's all these conspiracy theories popping up that resources are the reason behind these wars, and as time goes on and the population increases, it's just going to be harder and harder to get your hands on natural resources. So if you have a lot of money and you're looking to get into the real estate market, I would look into buying timber or farmland. Now I can promise you inflation's not going to hurt the trees and the cows, and also when a lot of people buy real estate, they just build houses on them, but not a lot of real estate investors use the natural resources available to them. And if you own the land, you can just hire lumberjacks or farmers to do the work for you, but it's one of the best things to know that you have a cabin or a farm to go back to if you ever want to take a small vacation. If you think this is a crazy investment, just wait till number 5. Now when you think about art, you might just think it's for museums or collectors, but what if I told you art opens up a serious opportunity for investment? I'm going to be showing you how you can get started with investing in art and how it compares to the S&P 500. So what I love about investing in art is it's already going to be something that's hanging on your house, and if you pick the right pieces, you can have something that's making you money while looking really cool. So generally you can get started in investing in art with just a couple $100, or you can throw in a couple thousand if you want a more expensive piece. Cool thing about investing in art is there's really no cap on how valuable the pieces can get. In the 80s, there was a painting made by Jean-Michel Basquiat. Now at the time, it just sold for a couple $1,000s, but a couple years ago, it just sold for $110 million. And that's just one of thousands of stories like that. And if you walk through any millionaire or billionaire's houses, you're going to see artwork on their walls earning them money. Now, before you hop on the auction house and start buying art, let me tell you about some of the pros and cons. So unlike stocks and crypto, you can't just hit the sell button and get all your money. It's going to take a lot longer to find a buyer for your art. So if you get into financial trouble and you want to sell it, it's going to be hard to find the price you're looking for if you're rushing into it. But you can always throw it up on the auction house and see how high you're going to get for it. But still, if you look at this chart here, you can see that the S&P 500 has been outperformed by art by almost double in the last 20 years. If you want to diversify your portfolio and you have enough money, I'd seriously consider buying art, but just make sure you're taking care of it and having it in the right storage setting. And also, it's not a bad idea to get some insurance on it. But not a lot of investments will give you this personal and cultural satisfaction that art will give you. So there's 2 different strategies you can go about doing when investing in art. You can either buy a piece that appeals to you personally, or you can try to go along with the market trends to get a piece that's going to rise in value. Obviously, both of these can rise in value, but it's going to take a lot more skill if you're investing in art for profit. And as certain genres become more and less popular, the art's going to reflect this. So it's really hard to see where the price of art's going to go. Now, if you do want to still go and invest in art, going to art galleries is kind of like going to a sneaker store because you know that the pieces are maintained well and you don't have to worry about any of them being fakes. They're all authenticated. Now, if you want to buy cheaper pieces, there's a lot of different online platforms. But if you're a beginner, I recommend Artsy or Satchet for buying art. And if you follow some artists on Instagram that you like, a lot of times you can just DM them and they're going to sell you something really cool. All right, now let's talk about what I think is the absolute coolest investment on this list. You probably already have this in your cabinet, and that's wine. And investing in wine's like a whole world of its own. When researching them for this video, I found a bunch of cool things that I didn't even know, like how they value wine and the different ways you can go about purchasing it. There's different things that go into the valuation of wine, like the weather during the growing season, the aging potential, and the vineyard's reputation. And one of the things that makes wine a little bit different than the rest of these investments is it's a finite resource, meaning once you drink it, it's gone forever and you can't get your money back. Recently, the value of wine's been going up because markets like Asia have been developing a higher taste for higher end wines. This means you could have a bottle of wine sitting in your cabinet for a couple of years and it could be worth thousands of dollars without you even knowing. So just like art, wine can do really well in times of inflation because it held its value really well. Back in 1945, there was a special wine bottle made for celebrating the end of World War II. The V on the bottle that stands for victory, and it was designed by French artist Philippe Julien. That single bottle sold for $310,000. And that's just one of hundreds of stories like that. Now, if you don't want to go through the hassle of buying and storing wine bottles, you can go on the stock market and buy wine index funds. If you do choose to go the route of buying actual physical bottles, just make sure you're storing them in the right conditions so they don't go bad. This is another really great way of diversifying your investment portfolio, and if you ever get tired of investing, you can just drink the bottle. If you look at this chart that compares the value of fine wine to the S&P 500, you can see that fine wine actually beat out stocks from 2000 to 2018. Comment down below what you're thinking about these investments so far. Now, if someone talks about investing in coin, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be talking about cryptocurrency. But today I'm talking about real, actual physical coins. There's a whole market for coins and valuing the coins themselves. And another cool thing about coins is it's like having a piece of history with you, because a lot of these coins have historical value. Back in 1933, there was a coin called the Double Eagle coin. Guess how much this just sold for? $7.5 million. Now, before you start digging through your coin jar, let's talk about some of the pros and cons of investing in coins. Now, if you want to get into investing in coins strictly to make money, I wouldn't recommend it because it takes a lot of time and energy to figure out which coins to buy, and even some passion about the subject. But this can still be a really cool thing to display in your house. And if you choose the right coins, they can appreciate infinitely over time. There's a lot of different websites you can buy coins from. You can go to a place like Rare Coin Wholesale if you want to buy a whole bunch of them, or a place like Money Metals if you're just buying one. And if you have a coin that you found that you think is valuable, you can go to cointracker.com to track the value of your coin, or any existing coins that you bought or you're looking to buy. If you made it this far in the video, you might as well subscribe, and let me know what other alternate investments you guys have down in the comments. Go check out my other videos on investing and credit.